Beau is afraid. Yo, listen up. I gotta tell you about this guy Beau Wasserman. He's the son of Mona, who built a big pharmaceutical empire called NW Industries. Beau never knew his dad, who apparently died during and due to a heart condition that he passed on to Beau. As a teenager, Beau fell in love with a girl named Elaine, and they promised to wait until they were adults to do the deed. Now as an adult, Beau's living in the rough city of Karina, and he's got some serious anxiety. His therapist prescribes him this experimental drug that he can only take with water. He's supposed to fly to Washington to see his mom for the anniversary of his dad's death, but some noisy neighbor keeps him up all night and he oversleeps. He rushes to pack but finds out someone stole his keys and luggage from his door. He calls his mom to explain, but she ain't interested. Beau takes his meds but starts freaking out when the water goes out. He tries to go to a convenience store, but a group of crazy homeless people break into his place and lock him out. He sleeps outside on some scaffolding and comes back the next day to find his place trashed. He tries to call his mom again but gets some UPS driver who tells him Mona's head got crushed by a chandelier. Still reeling from the news, Beau tries to take a bath but finds some intruder hiding in the ceiling. The dude falls through and Beau bolts out of his apartment but naked and runs into the street. He gets into it with a cop and gets hit by a food truck. Beau, who had been shot, wakes up 2 days later in the home of a married couple, Grace and Roger. They take care of an unstable veteran named Jeeves, who was their son's army buddy before he was killed in action. The couple's teenage daughter, Tony, dislikes Beau from the start. Later, Beau calls Mona's attorney, Dr. Cohen, who scolds him and informs Beau that Mona's last wish was to be buried only after he arrives. Roger promises to take Beau to Mona's estate as soon as possible but insists he rest until he is healed. On the day of his initial release, Roger is forced to postpone the trip due to an emergency surgery. Throughout Beau's stay in their home, Grace warns him not to do anything that could incriminate himself and reminds him that he is under surveillance. On the day of Beau's new release, Tony takes him to her brother's old room and tries to make him paint the walls in different colors. When Beau refuses, Tony insults him, telling him that he failed her test, before drinking a can of paint and killing herself. Grace walks in on Beau standing over Tony's body and angrily blames him for her death. As Beau runs away into the woods, Grace sends Jeeves after him. Yo, so Beau is lost in the woods and comes across these theater actors called the Orphans of the Forest. They let him watch their play and Beau gets all caught up in the story, feeling like he relates to the main character who's trying to find his family. Then this dude shows up and tells Beau that his dad is still alive, but before they can do anything, Jeeves and his crazy self come and attack the theater group. Beau manages to run away and hitches a ride to his mom's estate, only to find out he missed her funeral. He ends up hooking up with Elaine, but right after they finish, she dies and becomes stiff as a board. Then Mona shows up and tells him that she's been spying on him through his therapist for years. She takes Beau to the attic and drops a bomb on him. He's got a twin brother and his dad is some kind of monster shaped like a giant penis. Then Jeeves comes in again and the monster kills him. Mona keeps on embarrassing Beau and telling him she hates him. And he finally snaps and strangles her. Yo, listen up, fellas. After strangling his mother, Beau hightails it out of there and steals a motorboat from the beach. He heads into a cave and suddenly finds himself in some kind of arena, where his mother and her lawyer doctor Cohen put him on trial for every instance of him disrespecting her. It's all being broadcast on a jumbotron, and things look bleak for Beau, even with a lame defense attorney on his side. And then, things get even worse when one of Mona's goons kills the lawyer. Beau tries to plead with his mother, but she's not hearing it. And then, out of nowhere, the boat's motor explodes, and Beau is a goner. The credits roll as Mona cries her eyes out. That's some crazy Shaster's tea.